When you're thinking about making a change in your life, energetically, it can feel really different if you have it framed in your mind as running away from something versus running towards something. And that framing will affect what you decide to do and how you feel as you go through that transition. So let's dive into that one today. I'm Stacy Rocklein, and I'm on a mission to eradicate loneliness. And why change is important is because sometimes we're making those changes in our relationships. And most of the time when we want to make a change, it's because we're trying to eradicate feelings of loneliness. We're trying to be closer to the people we're with or bring in more people that we feel close to. So if you think about it, let's frame it like a job, okay? When you have a job that you cannot stand, and a lot of us have had this experience, you hate this job. When you think to yourself, I gotta get out of this job. I need to make a change. I cannot live like this anymore. Energetically, your focus is on everything you can't stand about it. You've got a running laundry list of what you hate about this job. And when you're focused on what you hate, you don't necessarily do anything. You don't necessarily move yourself forward, even though you want to run away from it. When you flip it to you think about what you're running toward, so yes, do you still want to make a transition away from this job? Sure. But what are you going to transition to? Your focus becomes what I want in my next situation, how I want the next job to look. What are the things that I'm looking for environmentally, with the content that I'm going to be working with, the people I'm going to be working with. You take your focus away from the things you hate and you put it on the things that you're interested in, the things that you love. And when you start to see it from that viewpoint, then you actually can take steps because you know what you're looking for. You know, as you look through a list of jobs, you're not just thinking anything, but you're thinking, I want this, I want this, I want this. And you're more likely to move because you've got actual steps that are clear to you. You can look at your laundry list of what you're looking for instead of your laundry list of what you can't stand. It's kind of like this. If you've ever been kind of burnt out and you're working and you've got a vacation coming up, maybe you're a college student, you've got spring break coming up, or you just know you've got this week's vacation and you just keep thinking like, oh, I cannot wait to not have to set my alarm, right? I'm so tired of setting my alarm at this certain time every day. And I just can't wait to not have to do that. I mean, that can feel good that that's coming, but when you think more in terms of on that time off, I'm going to get up at this time, do this thing for myself, go experience this awesome thing. Maybe you're even going to go on a vacation, right? Then it becomes not about what you're running away from, but what you're running toward, what's coming up. It's got this like lovely, anticipation, this excitement about it that isn't just about what you're getting away from. It changes your focus. So when you think about this in terms of relationships, now big relationship changes are, I got to get out of this one. And we think about that on things, right? I got to get out of this job. I got to get out of this relationship. I got to get out of this city. I can't stand all these things. Energetically, you know where that is. It's not going to get you moving. And what are you going to say yes to? Anything. You're not going to have been thoughtful about like, what is the next thing I want? Because you're just like, anything to get me out of here. But when you start to go, well, what am I looking for in a relationship, job, city, whatever? What are the things that I want to be present? If you're ending a relationship, you're going to want to do that anyway so that you can figure out what you're looking for. But inside of relationships, there are all these like mini transitions. So if you're in a long-term relationship that's been decades, for example, you're going to have seasons that are not awesome, right? If you've ever raised little kids and if you've got a bunch of them and they're all close in age, it's not the best time for the primary relationship because you're just trying to run on very little sleep and get through every day, right? So you might think to yourself, I can't wait for this to be over, right? Or you could focus on what are the next exciting things that are going to be happening, right? What do some of these future seasons for us look like? And when you start to think in terms of these mini little transitions, like things aren't great right now, I can't wait to be past this. I can't wait to be finished with this. Or you think, I'm excited for the point when our relationship feels like this. It's your focus that's changing. Your focus is changing from what you dislike to what you want. And when you're focused on what you want, you can start to think, how do I create that? How do I build that? What are the steps I have to take? Because at the end of the day, in our relationships, the only person we control is ourselves. And we're the common denominator, right? We're the common denominator in the job, in the city, in the relationships. And so even if we want something different, we have to think about, who do I want to be in this next thing, in this next phase, in this next season, in this next opportunity, in this next version of our same relationship? It gives me something to do. To run towards something is like, I have to become the person that can be in this next like expanded way of being in relationship. And so the question that you can ask yourself is this, especially if you want something different, you want change. What little thing can I do today to create or build the next great thing for whatever it is you're thinking about? If it's in terms of a job, right? What is the thing I can do to create my next job opportunity or pick up my next set of skills I need for something that I'm interested in doing, or look for where I want to experience that, or if I'm going to change job or change cities or whatever, like what can I do today to figure out what I'm looking for to go find that thing? Like that good, juicy, creative building energy is so much more helpful for taking steps, for giving you a compass for which steps to take, and for making you feel energetically excited than I just want out of here. When it comes to your relationship, you want to apply the same thing. You want to think about, what can I do today so that I can transition the two of us out of this season into this next closer season, this more connected season, this season with less loneliness? What is that going to take? And what it does is it puts it back on us, because this is the only thing that we really control. It's not on, well, when they change or when they fix this, it's like, what can I do on this day? And I'm going to give you an example. You can download Flirty Little Secrets, which is just some strategies for creating some lightness and some fun and some connection in your relationship, especially if you're at a point right now where you kind of just want out of this season. It's like, I don't want to be here anymore. Things are not going so great. Maybe it's obvious, and maybe it's just like a little bit more kind of vague to you. You just feel disconnected. You kind of feel unseen. You feel alone. What can you do today so that you feel like you're running toward the next version of your relationship? Not that you're running away from where you are now. And if you need some ideas, please download Flirty Little Secrets. I highly recommend always that you take the positive spin. So this is one example, right, where you, instead of thinking of running away from something, you think of running toward. Another reframe is that you think of things that you want to do instead of in terms of I have to do. Do you feel the energetic difference there? And for Flirty Little Secrets, instead of just like focusing on the things that are going wrong in a relationship, what you're doing is you're sprinkling the relationship with a lot more connections and things that are going right. Do you have to work on your problems? Of course. But at the same time, you've got to keep adding in connection and adding in just these moments of seeing each other and fun and laughter and lightness. And that will help you build the next phase of your relationship so that it's more connected and so that you feel like you've built something that you really have chosen, that you want, that you moved toward. So make sure you grab that today, and I'll see you next time.